the fashion in which England have decided to play, I think on certain occasions or such occasions, you can always have to have a relook at the way they go about it. But credit can't be taken away from what Sri Lanka have done. I think it's just after Pakistan beating England in this tournament, which was again a big upset because they were breaking a streak of 11 losses. I think Sri Lanka have done a great service to this World Cup, and just the fact that they're a proud nation, a proud cricketing nation, and they've beaten England today.
I'll be interested to know what Swanny's thoughts were being at the ground, but I just wonder if psychologically England did change the way they slightly play. Not talking about, say, Moeen Ali and the lower sort of batsmen, but more the guys at the top. Because they were chasing a lower total, they thought, okay, we can just take our time and we'll just work our way there. And I felt as though perhaps they were just a little bit less aggressive than they normally are. And I just wonder if that played into Sri Lanka's hands, and whether if they had their time again, the guys at the top would say, just come out and say, right, let's play our normal game and let's just go for it and put the pressure. This is the way we've played successful one-day cricket over the last 2-3 years. Let's not change the way we play. I felt as though they just thought, well, if we just bat the time, we'll get there. And it sort of maybe backfired. But I'd be interested to know if that's what it looked like at the game, because we're obviously a long way away.
Let's go straight there then. Let's go to Alexis Nunes and Graeme Swann. And we're all waiting with bated breath to hear what Swanny made of that. Alexis, please take it away.
Thanks so much, Ronak. Now, people are still singing about Swanny, and that's probably the only thing that's going in his favour today. The sun is still out, and what a game that was, at least for the neutral. But I'll tell you about Swanny. Remember him singing, dancing earlier on today, calm, cool, collected? Well, he's definitely not that man there. Swanny, let's start off with that point that Hus just made. Do you think England just weren't aggressive enough in going after this? Were they just a little bit too laid back? And that's the point that you've been saying, that you wanted to see England go after these low totals aggressively.
Mike Hussey, I've said this before, that you're a legend. You are now even more of a legend in my eyes, because that is exactly what we did wrong. I hear people will have a go at Moeen Ali for the aggressive shot he played. What absolute nonsense. If England had been aggressive from the outset, it would never have been in a situation where you're even thinking about one of the lower orders, basically middle and lower orders, playing an aggressive shot. England had a small total to chase and went about it in an entirely inappropriate manner. If they'd have been aggressive, gone at the Sri Lankan bowlers, not allowed the Sri Lankan bowlers to bowl, there is no way in the world they wouldn't have chased that down. So I question their tactics in the entirety. Losing those 2 early wickets, I mean, they plodded along, but they even got themselves to a very decent situation where they should win the game. But because the mindset was there, it wasn't an aggressive, proactive mindset, they turned themselves into an equal footing team rather than the best team on the park. So Mike Hussey, absolutely spot on. As I've always said, you're the best thing that's ever happened to cricket.
I'm not sure he's always said that, Huss. I can tell you that much here. We're just going to keep it real on this side. Well, something else that Huss brought up as well was the psychological factor of how the batting order went about things today. And we have a phrase in the West Indies, or at least in Jamaica, that says pressure bust pipe. And do you think the pressure of this tournament is catching up to England now, especially when it's getting to the quote-unquote business end of the tournament right before a match against Australia? Is there any benefit of losing a match like this before that?
No, there's no benefit whatsoever. You can make whatever excuse you want. The pressure undoubtedly has got to the England team today because they've gone against playing their natural game. I think it'd been better if they'd bowled Sri Lanka out for 300. I think they'd have won this game because they'd have been aggressive in their approach. They've forgotten how to chase a small total. And I will not have people have a go at Moeen Ali. I know I'm his biggest fan. I think Moeen was the only one who showed proper old school intent that has got England to #1 in the world. If all 11 had done that, the Sri Lanka bowlers, trust me as a bowler, if you've got a guy trying to hit you for 4 or 6 rather than trying to survive, then it is a horrific way to be. If you've got a guy who's waiting for a bad ball, oh my God, bring me that one-day batsman every time if I'm bowling. That is perfect. And then if you do that, the guys who have experience, Angelo Matthews, Lasith Malinga, these are the guys who will do well because they can thrive in that. They think, great, this England team has now destroyed everyone for 2 years, are playing like the old England team that we used to destroy. So we're happy now, we're relaxed, we can perform. Got it all wrong today, England, with the bat. All wrong. Apart from you, Moeen Ali, who remains my hero.